Got some ominous music rolling here midday in California. Good day to wherever you are in the world. I am Brandon Jones. This is Brad Ellis. Let me know if everything looks and sounds okay. I can adjust this volume on the fly. This is Dying Light 2. Does this have a name? Is this just like, hi, we're Dying Light 2? Did they?
I don't know. I guess just a showcase or something? I'm not sure.
What's your count? We didn't sync. Also, what's your count, Brad? What are you looking at?
Hold on, I gotta pull it up still.
We got 2 minutes, man. You gotta get ready. Hi, everyone. We're Easy Allies. Just a quick Brandon reaction to probably what would be a quick showcase, but we'll see.
Could be pretty good.
Emba and we have been waiting for this game for a long time, which is why today is interesting. I've seen 2 different theater presentations of this game at E3. I thought both were great. I thought the team was like really excited about the game. But yeah, there's been a lot of shakeups at the company. There's been a lot of delays, weird announcements. Sorry, Brad. What's your clock?
Sorry, I was still getting some stuff going. Can you just send me the link? I can't find it for some reason.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think it's twitch.tv/techland.
Oh, that's right. It's Techland. Sorry,
Indeed.
I forgot.
And I have played, and I think between Dying Light and Dead Island, I actually enjoyed Dead Island more because it was just kind of goofier. It was fun to get stronger in that game. Dying Light obviously had like way more interesting things going on, and so I was like so excited for them to build on it. And yeah, these big forts sneaking in there, snapping necks, headshots with bows and arrows. Like I'm way down.
Yeah,
it's just been a long time.
144, 3.
Oh, I got
2.
Yeah. Oh.
1.
Not 1, just 30. Yeah, I have 37, 36. Yeah, so I'm a little ahead, but that's good.
Okay, you're 1 second ahead of me.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good. Yeah, what's your interest in Dying Light as we count down?
So when these games came out originally, I never played Dead Island or anything like that. And when Dying Light came out originally, I wasn't that interested. But when they showed this game at E3 a couple years ago, I think it's been that long now, I was like, oh, this is like looking pretty good. I'm kind of interested in this now. So this is kind of going to be my first like deep dive into the series, I guess. I've briefly played the first game, but I'm in now, dude.
Yeah, I'm just not sure when zombies start nudity. Here we go, dude.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Now run.
Stay human.
Dying
Hello,
to know.
guys. Nice to meet you. I'm
Hello.
Leah, and this is Dying to Know. If you're dying to know what's going on in the world of Dying Light 2, then you're in the right place. Here we'll be showing you all the news from the latest from the Dying Light world. We'll be announcing a few contests.
Better production values than the
developers,
Cyberpunk
and
videos.
something
Just
most
throwing that out there right
importantly,
now.
We're going to be showing you a brand new gameplay trailer where you can see the current state of the Dying Light 2 game. But first, there's someone here I need to introduce you to. It's Aiden Caldwell.
I'm a pilgrim, an outcast, roaming like a Japanese ronin or an Old West desperado. My past is dark, but my future has a tiny, dying light at the end of this tunnel.
What? I thought it was going to be
guys.
Bossman for a second.
My name is Jonas Scott, and I voice Aiden Caldwell in Dying Light 2. But before that,
Just a half
I'm
second.
going to host this program with Leia, if you don't mind.
My pleasure. Well, I'm ready. Jonah's definitely ready. And I hope you're ready.
So if you're dying to know, just like us, then stick with us.
We should take a shot whenever they say dying.
The
I
story
know.
told in Dying Light 2 occurs 20 years after the events of the first game.
I don't know if I knew that.
Wondering what happened
Whoa,
in those
20
intervening 20
years.
years? Well, there's no better person to ask than the Dying Light 2 world director, Thomas Gabao, with who I'll be talking in just a moment.
And after that, I'll be speaking with Piet Jemenic, the narrative director of the game.
I hope they're all wearing
about the
hoodies.
characters that appear in Dying Light 2.
Stream a bit low. You got it.
Welcome to the show, Thomas. So the first question I have for you today is, do I need to have played Dying Light 1 to sort of understand what's happening in Dying Light 2?
No, actually, you don't. Like you mentioned before, our game takes place some 20 years later, in a world where humankind has lost the war to the virus. So,
Right.
in a way, you could say that Dying Light 2 takes us to the world beyond the apocalypse.
Intriguing. All right, tell me more, please.
Well, you remember the events of Heron in 2014. Well, after that,
Who doesn't?
Well, leaders, they had a tough choice to make. They had to isolate the city.
That's a long time ago.
For that, they created an exclusion zone. Like in Chernobyl, only a lot more people were left to die inside the walls.
Yeah, right. So they just isolated the entire city. And did it help? Did it stop?
Yeah, there is a
riots?
lot of camera panning.
For a while, it worked.
Holy jeez.
Enough for everyone to forget about it, at least. Only
But that's
in secret,
green screen,
a handful
right?
of scientists continued to
Oh,
study the
yeah.
virus.
Yeah.
You know, manipulating
But I
its
know- oh,
DNA,
yeah.
creating new strains. They were looking for commercial military applications. So, you know, they're doing it for the money, really.
Yeah, of course. So what happened next?
Well, next, the shit hit the fan. By Christmas 2021, one of these mutated strains escaped from a level 4 laboratory located near Geneva. We don't really know if this was accidental or not.
He's getting very specific.
But, this time, the virus was much faster than any government. Before the world could react, civilization was on the brink of collapse. People were dying in the streets, capital cities were burning. By the end of 2023, 98% of the population had been lost to the virus. There was a few settlements remaining, but only one city was still standing. The last bastion of mankind, our city, Villedor, aka the city.
Right, so Villedor is what we have left. So that's everything that's happened outside of the city. What actually happens inside Villedor?
Well, the city has unique rules. First of all, it's surrounded by seemingly impassable walls. And inside the walls, the people decided to use a radical new weapon against the infection, which actually gave them the upper hand in the first stages of the pandemic. But it also created terrifying new monster archetypes. 15 years on, a new
Yeah, I don't mind
equilibrium.
her. I think it's a little contrived. I
city.
just drown this in
Daylight,
gameplay. Yeah,
human
just let me be
factions
watching
fight
this
to
game
control the city,
the
and at
entire
night,
time.
The streets become the realm of these bloodthirsty, infected monsters.
Great. Well, that is extremely interesting. Thank you very much,
Producer's
Thomas.
like, I
And we'll
paid
be
for the
hearing
set.
more about the vibrant and
Show the
fantastic
set.
city soon, I hope. But first, I think we need to hear a little bit more about the characters.
I do like having the Oprah interchange. It's like, thousands died.
Guest is a man
okay,
of two industries, cinema and gaming. In a previous life, he wrote the hit HBO series Vataha?
Vataha, yeah.
Vataha. And then he moved on to Techland to become a narrative director. Piotr Jemenek.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
So we have plenty of time to talk about the rest of the characters in Dying Light 2. There are tons of them. But today, I think we want to focus on Aiden Caldwell, the protagonist. You want to talk more about him? Or?
Yeah, sure. So, Aiden, he's the member of Outcasts, you know? The group of people traveling through this dangerous world of Dying Light 2 called Pilgrims, because he's looking for his relative. The person whom he lost many, many years ago, and that person is his only memory from the past, and the only answer to whom Aiden really is.
Aiden is a really rich, deep character, very much cooler than I am.
Oh, no, come on.
I mean, he can run across buildings, jump from rooftop to rooftop, use all kinds of weapons.
Yeah, well, you know, he didn't have much choice. This world is full of infected, bloodthirsty creatures, so he didn't have much choice, right? The weak die,
Yeah, I've
strong
seen some of this
survive,
gameplay
and
before
Aiden,
too.
he
It's a
just
bummer.
has to be
Yeah.
strong. But why did he come like that? Why him? That's the main question of the game, and the player will have opportunity also to decide how Aiden will evolve. Will he help the weak? Will it distract him from his main goal? Or maybe he will just strive to the end of his search as soon as possible.
I can't imagine trying to survive.
like the wind and the
live
birds
in a city like
in the
that.
background.
The ambiance.
A wolf by yourself without any kind
Sell
of
it.
support.
Well, he's not gonna
Their
be
hair's not
around,
really
you know,
rustling, but
to
it's
meet
I still
many
feel
people.
kind of breezy.
But
Yeah, that's nice.
Again, depending on the player choices. Some of them will become his allies, but some of them will become his enemies. One of the group he will encounter are the Night Runners, the former special force officers.
Okay,
who
I
were
think this is
sick
new.
of the army's cynicism and lack of concern for common people. But they were brave enough to help the people during the night. And the night, as you know, is pretty horrifying in the game.
Yeah, so Aiden joins them, joins the Night Runners.
Oh, that's the
What if it's like
question, my
Unreal
friends,
Mandalorian
the
tech,
player
Brad?
will
You
have
know,
to
I wonder if
answer
this
to.
is like
I
cutting
won't
edge
spoil the
CG
pleasure of
world
discovering
manipulation.
Aiden's actions and true motivations. But what I can share with you is
I am curious if the production values are counter to them being rocky for a little bit with the company and with the game delays and stuff. I wonder if they were like, we got to spend money on this to make people feel confident. We're back.
Oh, it's fascinating. I can't wait to
The
see
game's
it.
coming out.
Yeah.
And we have a plan.
So before we watch the gameplay trailer of Dying Light 2 for the first time, we need to talk about something.
It's like your fourth gameplay trailer, but it's cool.
Of the Dying Light universe, which is
The community. Over the past few years, Dying Light has amassed over 23 million players and a 95% positive review rating on Steam.
which in
Didn't know
Steam
that.
Talk is overwhelmingly positive. So bravo.
Yeah, we'd like to take a few seconds and thank you guys.
Thank you all for being on this journey with us. Thank you for sharing your love with others of Dying Light. And thank you for these great moments spent together. Dying Light 1 has some amazingly creative fans, which is fantastic, pardon the pun, because we're going to be starting a brand new contest which will combine your love of Dying Light with that same creativity.
With the release date of Dying Light 2 drawing ever closer, we'd like to extend our hand and invite you to make the community a little bit bigger. If you find yourself skilled in the ways of visual arts, writing, or costumes and cosplay, please join the Dying Light universe.
So check out dyinglightgame.com/contest, and if you win, there's a fantastic monetary prize on the line. But also, there's some other great rewards you could be in with a chance with winning as well.
A little vague. Interesting.
Platinum edition
Very
of
vague,
Dying
yeah.
Light.
Yeah, it sounds like
Look at
we'll
this.
yeah,
This is
not
the
make stuff for
finest
the game,
edition
but
of
just make
Dying
stuff
Light
we'll promote.
ever made. This is the
Interesting.
Platinum edition of Dying Light. This has every bit of content ever released for Dying Light in one place. It's
Cool.
massive. I mean, look at it.
For those of you who haven't experienced Dying Light yet, we are introducing Dying Light 1 Platinum Edition. It's the biggest and most complete edition to have ever existed.
And we're offering it to you now at an historically low price. All the content, lowest price.
It's literally no better time to buy than now, and you can get it on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Get your Platinum edition of Dying Light now. This is the best offer.
no, I'm not-
Ever.
just-
I guess we don't have time to go over
No plans.
everything that's in the Platinum edition, but it is everything. This is how it looks.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with Dying Light DLC.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how much there is. Ninja.
Whoa. The other thing that's easy to love about this company making this game is that this is what they do. You know, these are like they are
Oh, yeah.
in their
It's
element right
awesome.
now.
That axe. Cool.
See, you need to start with a trailer like this for Dying Light 2 at the head of the entire thing, then do a new gameplay trailer. Just without really getting like the vibe of the game, it's tough to like get as excited as they clearly
so
are
I'm
in the
excited
set.
because you guys
He's
are
excited.
in just a second gonna see the official
Dying to know.
gameplay trailer for Dying Light 2. And then after that, we're gonna interview some of the devs that made it possible.
So, without further ado, here it is.
Hey everyone! We've been quiet for some time, since, like the rest of the world, we had some unforeseen hurdles to clear. But the wait is over. Let's dive into the open world of Dying Light 2. The last slice of Dying Light 2 showcased the mission from the main storyline.
You get after those fuckers.
You saw how your decisions influenced the narrative and notably changed the environment. This time, we want to give you a broader look at the game and a sneak peek at some of the things we'll be talking about in upcoming months.
Yeah.
In Dying Light 2, you become Aiden Caldwell, an outsider trying to unravel a tangled mystery from his past. Its trail leads him to the city, probably the last bastion of mankind in the world.
Shit!
At first, you feel like this intense, brutal place will tear you apart. But then you meet the Night Runners, veteran survivors who help people in better days.
By the way, I'm Hakon. You were a Night Runner. You used to help people, remember? Night Runners are gone. Finished. A myth.
And although it's not entirely clear you can trust them, you need allies in the dark.
Looks good. Those in-game story
These
moments
are
look
the
pretty smooth.
modern Dark Ages. It's been 15 years since the apocalypse, and the world has changed. The old civilization has fallen, but a new one has been built on its ashes.
Lots of windmills. Windmills is a major theme in this game.
People fight desperately for scarce resources. Rules are broken, and weakness is punished.
She's innocent.
3 factions struggle for position in the
Yikes.
city. Survivors
Way to go,
pride
player.
themselves on being able to adapt to any circumstances and cobble together safe zones almost everywhere. Peacekeepers, loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Renegades, ex-prisoners serving their ruthless colonel, seeking to become sole rulers of the city.
Where is Waltz? Make him tell me.
Use these factions to reach your goal. Help or harm them to reshape the city to your liking. Just remember, each faction contains complex characters.
Oh!
Nosy Parker, ain't ya? Got some kind of bad habit of yours?
So, will you follow cold calculation or your heart?
The Bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos. Yet, nightfall scares all of them equally.
People look good. Techland characters usually look pretty funky, but like the clothes, like the armor and the character
Pumping the
animation looks
budget
pretty-
up.
I like it.
Darkness changes the rules of the world. As the light fails, monsters crawl out of hiding to prey on the poor souls caught outside the safety of UV rays. Hordes of infected pour into the streets like decaying lava. The deadly spawn of 15 years of mutation and evolution.
Big boy.
Your only escape? Exploit the city's verticality and flee to the roof.
Verticality. He said it. You don't hear it that
You
often.
are never safe from swift and deadly virals. Or even
Oh, that's cool.
greater threat.
Dude, Blade 2.
Yet night brings opportunity as well. Nests rife with infected during the day now lie empty. To explore them, you must tread carefully. But those brave enough to face the terrors of the night can loot a jackpot.
Ooh. Good. Don't do it, man.
Luckily, you have all the tools you need to survive. Your extraordinary parkour skills allow you to navigate even the most treacherous terrain.
Here's that shutout. Whoa. That was a pretty big jump.
On the roofs, you can count on your parkour acrobatics to save your life.
Drop kick.
But
Hell
often,
yeah.
you have to face your enemies head on. And then you have to be smart, resourceful,
Yes. Yes.
and determined.
Bo.
We've worked hard on the essence of
Oh.
our combat, making sure swinging a big, meaty weapon is fun, satisfying, and well executed. But even the most
Good to hear.
fights can be tactical as well. You have multiple
Wow,
ways
that
to
blood
hone
looks
your
good too in
skills
this game.
toward the gameplay style that suits you best. It's up to you if you focus mostly on mobility and parkour, or aggressive, blunt force combat, or a crafty approach where the tools you've created get the
Yeah.
job done. Every ability you learn can be a game changer and possibly a new favorite move.
Knife to the face.
Things move fast and quick in Dying Light 2. Each moment matters. Each move could mean triumph or defeat.
I like this look too because this choice thing is like all they talked about for like a year and a half, and so it's nice to dive into more stuff.
Everything you do in the city can reshape the gameplay environment, change the course of the narrative, and decide the fate of the city's residents.
Oh!
Most importantly, you decide your own fate as well.
You're about to turn.
Make sure to stay human.
An extensive post-apocalyptic world. And I really like that divisiveness, you know, the life on the roof and then death on the streets.
Yeah, like the intensity of the day and the night cycle together.
It's almost like Dying Light 2 is two different games put together into one.
Yeah, like despite that, despite all the brutality going on the ground floor, there's something about like the rooftops and the plants.
It's cozy.
Yeah, I kind of want to be there. But it does feel like every decision is vital. Like your choices actually do have some consequences.
Choices and consequences are incredibly vital to Dying Light 2's gameplay. And we're going to interview some devs and talk about some other very vital gameplay mechanics. Our next guest is Adrian Pizza-Szewski.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. And that gameplay looked awesome. I know we can't wait to get our hands on it, but congrats.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like you guys have a very unique world and a very unique game. Where y'all get your inspiration from?
Oh, that was a research. We did a deep dive into the history of our world, and we found repetitive patterns. We found that people use the same behaviors in the past after the fall of civilization or after the fall of the nation that's supposed to be a backbone of our world. So our approach was super simple. We just copycat those behaviors and attitudes and show you how our world would look like after the fall. However, it's kind of obvious that the main reason that civilization fall is virus pandemic or eventually the economical collapse. Yeah, that's basically obvious thing. But it's even darker if you connect those things with the research we did at the beginning of the production. So people will question everything. They're gonna blame everything and everyone that's supposed to guide us in our lives every day. So they're gonna blame governments, they're gonna blame law, they're gonna blame science, or even religion. Some people might ask themselves that, where was God when it happened to us, basically, you know? So I feel that all of those things together creates the sensation that it's a giant step backward for our civilization.
So Dying Light 2 has a subtitle, Stay Human. What does that mean?
Well, it's super hard to remember those values that makes us human. So like compassion or
This is getting
support.
deep, Brad.
So
this is getting
it's really getting into some heavy stuff. It is a little silly to me to ask somebody who's making a zombie game what their inspiration is.
Because to stay human,
Zombies,
people will
you know.
sacrifice what's
Zombies.
the most important for them, or sometimes risk their lives.
seen them.
Wow, so that's like really intense. And there's like the obvious like double meaning to it, which is what I was thinking. Stay human, don't become a zombie.
Yeah, but one disclaimer, those are not zombies. You know, those are infected people that turn
Stop
to be
it.
a monster. They're just crossing a line, you know, and they're turning to be a monster, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Even the
tonight,
hosts are
we all
skeptical of that one.
infected.
Her face.
You know, we're all wearing this biomarker. You know it, and you're wearing this. I'm wearing this. That's a watch, actually. But you know that.
They're
you know, so
creepy
that's,
crawlers
that's the thing. So
with a Z is
the
what we call them.
challenge is to not cross this line at all costs. So that's the biggest challenge of staying human in this meaning.
I see, yeah, not zombies.
Not zombies.
Not zombies
at all.
People who've crossed the line.
Freakers, yep.
All right, well, fascinating. Thank you so much, Adrian. We're definitely going to be hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We have with us Katarzyna Tarnacka, the environmental art director.
Hi. And we have game designer Michał Duzak.
Hello. So, choices and consequences. The player has to make a choice, and they have to experience or endure the consequences. What does that mean?
Basically, the whole system of choice and consequences is really, really complex. I would say the best way to describe it is that the player is making the decisions based on 3 layers. First one are the choices that you do during the main story missions. And those big changes actually can change the whole game or even how the story ends. The second layer are choices that you do while the quests. And those choices can actually influence the mission itself. And the last layer is so-called city alignment system. And I, as an open world game designer, would like to focus on.
Please do. Go on.
All right, so water and electricity
Nice.
are basically a key to survive.
It's the first time the
in
host
every
was just
world.
like, keep talking.
By restoring it,
Yeah.
player can not only
I don't know why I'm
unlock
here.
the water or electricity in the area, but he can also, based on his decision, assign it to one of the factions, which will influence how the district looks like or who's going to live inside of it. But it also, what is pretty more important for a player, unlock new tools for him, like unique tools for each factions, like car traps, zip lines, or a trampoline. That player can use in exploration to deal with bandits or infected, or simply to move faster through the city. So basically, based on your choices, you shape the game environment, which gives you a different experience every time you start a new game.
Traps,
And
that's what I want to do.
What it's worth mentioning here that Dying Light 2 is playable up to 4 co-op players. So you can host the game, join other players, and see how their choices came up differently to your own.
Interesting.
There's one thing I'm really curious about, though. Night versus day. How does the gameplay differ from the night and the day?
Well, the short answer is that day is for humans and night is for the monsters. But to describe it a little bit better, I would say that during the day, humans, factions, bandits, or survivors scavenging the city and searching for some scraps or someone who might have them. And this is the best time for a player to explore the city, meet its citizens, learn the stories, day-to-day agenda, or even simply help them in a quest or open world activities to survive those dark ages.
Yeah, and that sounds quite pleasant, but I'm guessing night changes everything.
Exactly, exactly. During the night, all the infected get out of the buildings, and compared to the Dying
Ready
Light
for her to
1,
weigh in.
the
She's
night is
clearly
gonna
got something
be
to
even
say.
more intense this time. Intense in terms of the amount of enemies, the new types, and new, more aggressive behaviors. And what is important, this time night can mean also opportunity. An opportunity for the players who are courage and skilled enough to use the fact that all the infected are outside and buildings are accessible to explore them and search for the most valuable loot
Gotta
in
have
the
the
game.
skills
Katarzyna,
and the
you're
courage,
responsible
Brad.
for the post-apocalyptic look of the city. Can you
I
tell
want
us a little
that
bit
loot.
how about the city became to look that way?
Yes, I guess the important thing to realize is in 2025, a decision was made to use a chemical attack to stop the spread of the Haran virus. And the result is a tight ring of chemically active areas around the city. Some of the chemicals
Dark
are
zone.
gotten into the groundwater.
Toxic
spread
waste
under
for
the
Uber.
surface, killing
Yeah.
every living plant,
that toxic
and
waste?
every living thing in its reach. What it means for the city is that the street levels are virtually dead. The soil is unable to sustain any life, any plant, and the street level is a domain of the monsters, just decaying in every aspect.
Wow, so it sounds like there's just no healthy organic life down there at all.
Not really. The survival on the street level is pretty tough. So the common people are just visitors there. But the life prevailed. It moved up to the rooftops. And this is where the plants are flourishing and blooming in the post-apocalyptic landscape. And this is where people build and develop the new world of Dying Light 2. Electricity producing windmills and safe zones for the player. And in a way, in a metaphorical sense,
We're
the
way past
rooftops
concept
are
art,
the
guys.
new
Come on.
default ground floor, the level 0. And trip
game is
to
coming
the
out.
streets is, in a way, a trip underground, a -1 of sorts, just the corpse of a lost civilization.
Yeah, that's, to say the least. I can't imagine being
Jazzed.
a citizen living in that city, let alone being a player, and how challenging that's going to be.
Yeah, and hold that thought. Thank you very much for joining us today, but it's now time to introduce our next guests.
With us now are Bartosz and Peter. And guys, I have one question about the open world in Dying Light 2. How big is it?
It's pretty big.
We know that. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, of course. The map in Dying Light 2 is divided into 2 huge regions and several zones.
Okay.
There are plenty leftovers from the lost civilization for you to scavenge. But we didn't want our players
two
to
favorite
perceive
guests
the
so far.
map only horizontally. So we see the map as a multi-level 3D world that supports your traversal and helps you solve parkour puzzles.
Yes, in-house we call it multi-layer open world exploration. And you know, the movement system from Dying Light 1, we remove every restriction from the player. You can move everywhere you want, how you want to do it. And when I think about it, I think that was a big challenge for us to create the geometry that supports all of that.
God, that's
And
scary.
we did it, and I think we did it well.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing in Dying
I think
Light
the first
2
demo I saw,
was
was
on
when he had
our
to
goal.
climb this
We wanna
tower. It
make
was like,
one
it was nail
or
biting.
more
Just like,
steps
that's not
forward
hard to shake that fear heights.
increase the player expectation. That's why we doubled the number of parkour moves.
Doubled. And I mean, it's not like there was a shortage in Dying Light 1, so.
Nice.
Yes, the
Double
iconic
it.
Dying Light 1 parkour is essential
Double
out
it.
there. We improve it. We double the number of parkour moves. The
Yeah, man,
players will
Spider-Man.
see over 3,000 different
that looks
parkour
fun, man.
animations, from the basic move through the
God, I can't
tricks,
wait for that drop
to the
kick.
small
Yeah,
little
doing it to
tasty
humans feels so much better than doing
details there.
it to zombies. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Okay,
great.
well, unfortunately,
Sneaking up
I'm
on
going to have
dudes.
to stop you there, but don't hate me because in the next episode, we're going to be talking more about parkour and how the team have managed to make an authentic urban running experience in Dying Light 2.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the information.
It's like the Cyberpunk things too, where it's
Thank
like,
you.
maybe we'll
Thank
do
you
all
very
of
much.
these. I don't know. It's been nice to get some more info on Dying Light.
Okay, so the
But-
last and arguably the most important question I'm sure you have is when is the release date?
Yeah, that is a very, 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 very important question.
And luckily, we have the answer. And that answer is the 7th of December.
Yay.
Waited years to say that out loud.
Yay, Christmas
Now
vibes.
that
Hope
we
y'all
know
finish
the release
Pokemon by
date of the
then.
game, it's time for you to go pre-order it. Go to dyinglight.com/pre-order. Select your
You
platform.
don't
and
have
hit
to. You don't have to pre-order it,
There
everybody.
you go.
Don't.
Congratulations.
You don't have to
just
do
pre-ordered
that.
One of the most anticipated games of this
He's
year.
straight up demanding
Go
that you do it. Follow your heart. Believe in yourself. Please,
wow.
no more.
I want one.
Well, I've got
Stop
good news
it.
for you then, because this official
The zombie
figurine
butt.
is part of the collector's edition
Collector's
of
edition.
Dying Light 2, and you can get one for yourself if you want. We'll leave like a proper unboxing of the whole set to the professionals, but we do have it all in front of us right now, so it'd be rude not to take a look. You get, in the collector's edition, a concept art book full of stunning artwork from the game. You get this steel book, which will have your game inside it, of course, and you get this interesting little sort of UV flashlight. So yeah,
Cool. It looks like there's all sorts of vanity elements in here too, like some legendary skin packs, as well as all sorts of digital elements. For more information on these digital elements, please visit the pre-order website. I want this, and I want Dying Light 2.
kind of thought
Okay,
you'd say
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Well, if you're
yeah,
feeling
good
the same way, then I've got good news because you can pre-order the collector's edition. However, it is very, very limited, so you'll have to be very quick.
Rest assured, there will be plenty of the standard edition for your standard gamer, but if you're into special editions, there is
For
a
your
deluxe
standard
edition of Dying Light 2 with
Are you
steel
standard
book,
gamer, Chad?
legendary pack,
Gamer?
and digital soundtrack,
All
and
right.
much, much more.
That's
So
that's
to
over the
summarize,
line.
that's 3
dude.
different editions that you can buy depending on what you're after.
Shout out to standard
And if
gamers.
you just can't wait until release to get immersed in the world of Dying Light 2, then why don't you go check out the Techland Gamers and Goodies website for more info.
Yeah, this is a program for all gamers, whether or not you want updates on Dying Light 2, with
Standard
the news,
gamers
or you
rise
want
up.
Dying Light 2 items in Dying Light 1. Everyone's going to find something they like there.
Yep, and this is just an initial offering as well. Check back later for even more details, more information, and we'll be going through it in future episodes as well.
That's it. Don't forget to pre-order the game and take part in our contests. The details
that.
are on the game's website.
And here's a sneak peek at the topic of the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. Bye!
See ya!
They should run and jump off the set.
Yeah, Jones.
No
you're right.
stunts. There was no stunts. That's the thing. It's like you spend all that money. Costumes, makeup, sets. All right. Hopefully do a little montage that we can watch at the end here, but okay, we made fun of them a lot. I want to focus on positives if we can. I think that game looks great. You know, like systems, whatever, story,
I'm in.
whatever. We're not going to find out, but like visually,
Yeah, I'm in,
just
dude.
the
So
textures of
ready.
everything. And yeah, so like for me, it's neat to see, because again, Dead Island was like not a great looking game. The humans did not look real. There was the frame rate issues and weird glitches and weird physics and stuff. But like, I just loved, you know, exploring that world, surviving it, you know, like building up, which they didn't really get into, which maybe like they'll do in later episodes. But the building stuff, you know, like crafting. I don't know how much of that you enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I want to see all of that. I was really into like the stash they were talking about. That's like in those indoor areas with all the zombies around. Like really
Yeah.
risky, but get some sweet loot. I love shit like that.
It's kind of like just replaying Village, like, you know, again and again. It's fun to like go at challenges that I just avoided, you know, in a playthrough, and then later you're like, oh wait, I could go in there and get that stuff. Yeah, and especially at night because it just like looks legit dark. You know, like you can't see anything if you go indoors. Like you need flashlights, you need the UV. So yeah, you're on track. There's nothing pushed you aside.
No, I mean, open world zombie game where you get to jump around. That's kind of what I want out of it, and that's what it's gonna give me. I hope they talked about a lot about the choices, and I hope there's quite a bit of them. I think they said something about like there's choices and quests and like maybe other events too. You know, I was hoping there was gonna be more than like 2 or 3 big choices, but I don't know how much there'll be. I'm curious to see how deep that'll go.
From the 2 demos that I saw, they were very obvious when you were moving towards a choice. It was like you have to get us water back, and in one case it was like you got to take down the head of this group. So you're really thinking the whole time you're there. It's like, do I like these guys or not? So it's not gonna be a curveball at the end. It's gonna be like, no, you guys suck. I don't want this Mad Max shit going on here. Like I'm gonna shut all of you down. So yeah. So yeah, how many there are, I don't know, but it did seem they were pretty baked into the world. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm just glad. You know, this game went away for a long time, so I'm just glad that they really... I think this game
it's been cooking.
Looked pretty good before, but just looked good. You know, looks better than... Here's the real question,
I'm stoked to play it.
Here's the real question. 1 month from now, they announced 2 days before it goes live, they're going to do another Dying to Know stream. Is Brad Ellis showing up? Am I getting you for this? Or are you like, I think I'm good?
I think I'm good.
Is it just Sonic this morning and Horizon later today? And it's just kind of, I don't know, Dying Light, let's throw it on the list.
I don't know. Like... I just thought that was longer than it needed to be, that whole thing. But
of course,
it was great seeing a lot of the game. It was cool hearing the devs talk about the game, but maybe a little too long for me.
Ooh, chat's good too. All right, well, maybe it'll just be me. Maybe we can just talk about it on Twitter.
Like, no slight against the game. I'm in for the game.
No, yeah. I always make that distinction that like press conferences and trailers and games, they're all totally separate things. Like we can make fun of a trailer, but we're still really excited about the game. So yes, those hosts were ridiculous, but Dying Light 2 looks good. That's the verdict at the end of the day. Thank you, Brad.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, chat.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to do Horizon. I'll be back maybe with a couple other allies for Horizon just before 2 p.m., but you can watch the stream right now. You can just go check out that world. They've been going since 9.
Yeah, if you want to see some vistas.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks again, Brad.
Yep, bye.